You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from Newstalk ZB.
Yes, well, the Warriors head into week 2 of the NRL finals with their season well and truly on the line now. They've hit that sudden death phase of the finals after being humbled 32-6 by the classy Panthers in that qualifying final on Saturday. So to stay alive, the Warriors now back at their home base, Mount Smart Stadium, hosting the red-hot Newcastle Knights, who amassed their 10th win in a row against the Raiders in extra time last night. 6:05, Saturday night kickoff is all locked in. Of course, despite the result 2 nights ago, we can't underestimate the huge occasion this will be in Auckland. And of course, for the Warriors, the club's first home finals match in 15 whole years. Let's look at this massive game now and the week ahead, just hours after tickets went on sale as well. And also just finding out how that belief is sitting now amongst the club and its management. Warriors CEO Cameron George is with me live on the show tonight. Evening to you, Cameron.
Good evening.
Well, talk us through firstly your emotions as that game unfolded on Saturday night, Cameron. Sadly, obviously not quite edge of your seat type finals football that we were all, I guess, hoping for.
No, look, the school board indicated that, but at the end of the day, Penrith are on, and we made a few forced errors, and they just make you pay for it. So the reality there is that you got to be on your game, and less mistakes and so on against these top quality teams. It keeps you in the game, but when you make those mistakes, it just provides some challenges. But look, full-time siren went. It's important for us to look at it, understand it, and move on just as quickly.
Yeah, what was sort of the sense you got from players and coaching staff as to how it unfolded, and I guess with their minds looking forward now to this weekend, what's the sentiment been like?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of belief in the group. You're not the first team to have been beaten this year. We won't be the last. The best thing about the situation we've earned this year, being in the top 4, is that we get a second bite of the cherry, and that's crucial. So we understand that opportunity, and the boys will be, they'll be well and truly up for this great opportunity we got this Saturday at home at Go Media Stadium.
Yeah, indeed. And speaking of which, let's look ahead now. That members pre-sale started today, including for those who paid the $49 last week to join the pre-sale window. How have the ticket sales been going today? Have you managed to get a bit of a gauge?
Look, it's been really busy. The phones have been non-stop with inquiries and the like. So just waiting on some numbers to come through from the NRL as we speak. Obviously, it's their game day. But, yeah, look, it's exceptionally busy. So it'll be a chock-a block house there. We haven't played there in a final since 2008. So just a real privilege for our footy club to share this with our fan base here in New Zealand.
Yeah, and do you take a moment to sit back and just think this is what any club aims for at this point of the season? Pretty special to be involved in a week like this back at home?
Yeah, very special, mate. And particularly after, just being separated from our grassroots here in New Zealand over the last few years. So to bounce back into it this year is just a real highlight for our footy club, but one that we're not taking for granted. I can assure you of that. But, we are enjoying the moment, but ready to go full force come Saturday.
There have been a few people texting in tonight, Cameron, just wondering or concerned a bit about no tickets being left by the time that public sale begins tomorrow. Is that a possibility at all? Could things be all sold out by then based on the members and corporates and things?
Oh, look, it's hard to say, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's what membership benefits are for. That's why people pay up to receive that opportunity. However, I understand the NRL always hold back a number of tickets for public consumption. So that's the way it works across every club. And it's not just our footy club, it's every game in the finals, and every footy club members get those benefits. So, look, I'm sure there'll be tickets left for public consumption tomorrow.
There will obviously be loyal fans that miss out, and that's always the case in any sport and any finals series. But how do you sort of make sure that your loyal fans can still be involved in game day? How do you sort of send some messages out to them to make sure they're still feeling part of it all?
Yeah, look, our social media and content team do an amazing job to keep people engaged, keep people close to the team and the action that's happening during the course of the week leading up to the game. And then, our major partner in Sky Sport, they deliver a fantastic viewership opportunity through their platforms. And they share it with the country and offshore. So if you can't get to the game, there's going to be plenty of opportunity to watch it in, on many different platforms through Sky Sport.
Any big names or anyone famous-ish been on the phone looking to get involved or wanting a ticket?
Mate, honestly, the amount of phone calls I've had personally today about tickets, which, you just can't control that stuff. It's out of our hands now. But as I said, look, everyone wants to be there, and they just got to get their tickets and get in. And there's a lot of members that have been really loyal and paying their way on a membership basis for years to get these opportunities. So it's just a great spot to be in, and everyone will share in it some way, somewhere. So looking forward to it.
What could fans expect, even fans that are either regulars at Mount Smart, the home base through the season, or coming along, from out of town or something, about the game night experience? Does that step up a notch as well, what fans are sort of being presented with pre-match, during the game, half-time, because it's an all-important playoff game?
Oh, mate, I don't know whether you've been to a game this year, but it has been exceptional experiences all year. We've had over 24,000 people at every game, and mate, it's just been unbelievable. So, stepping it up, we've been stepping it up all year, and it'll be equal to that. And I think what we feel this week is, a higher amount of intensity and anticipation around the ground at the game, given the nature of the game. So I think everyone will be on edge, and, I think you'll be able to feel it in the air and the atmosphere.
And I know a lot of people will be wondering this, and I'm sure when you get all those phone calls you mentioned before, Cameron, they're asking this. Shaun Johnson, what's the latest chatter around him that you're hearing from the medical staff, the coaching staff?
Day by day. That's all I can say, and that's all the reality of it is. Shaun will be given every chance to play. Whether he can play or not, that's entirely up to the staff that will make that call throughout the week. So he wants to play. That's the best thing about it. So we'll have to wait and see.
Adam O'Brien, the Knights coach last night, just sort of pointed out, just the fan engagement with the Warriors based on those last few years that have been, but also just how he suggests returning home can raise a bit of pressure. Does it raise the stakes a little bit more, create a few more nerves in front of home fans in any stretch?
No, mate. These guys train for it. They want to be a part of it. And, this is the stuff they set out to try and achieve this year. So, everyone's ready for it, mate. They're all excited, which is great.
Yeah, brilliant. And just finally, Cameron, and appreciate your time tonight here on Sports Talk. When you eventually look back on 2023 as an overall season of obviously rebounding from those few years based across the Tasman, finishing where the team has in the round robin this year, how much of what happens from here defines whether this season has been a success or not?
Look, there's so many ways to measure it, but at this point in time, we want to win this competition. So we'll be disappointed if we don't, absolutely. But also we'll reflect on the season, and we'll understand it's been a great effort by our fans and our club to get ourselves off the canvas to get to where we've got to. And we understand the hard work that's gone into it. But, mate, we're going after this. We want to win this competition. So we'll be disappointed if we don't. But we'll have a time to reflect on where we land ultimately once the season's over.
Well, Cameron, all the best with that, and thanks for fitting us into your busy schedule this week. Go well for the week ahead, and most importantly on Saturday night as well. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for your support, mate.
Cheers. Cameron George there, Warriors CEO. Busy times, and still very much, despite that humbling defeat on Saturday night, obviously a fair bit of confidence and hope around into what the Warriors could produce and what they're capable of, especially if Shaun Johnson manages to come back into the lineup on Saturday nights.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.